Columns of smoke rise over and around Ukraine's town of Bakhmut, where Russian forces step up their advance into the besieged Donbass region. Donetsk and Luhansk have weathered the worst of the fighting, as Ukrainian forces try to hold off the continued onslaught in the two war-torn regions. Even so, emergency services are still sometimes able to get through and treat the wounded. Both Russia and Ukraine are sticking to their own versions of what caused a series of powerful explosions in Crimea on Tuesday. Russia's MOD denies that the Saki base on the Black Sea was shelled and instead claims that the munitions had blown up. Ukrainian social networks had been abuzz with speculation that it was hit by a Ukrainian-fired long-range missile, but Kyiv denies involvement in the blast. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky used his nightly address to comment generally on the situation in Crimea, saying there will be no stable and lasting peace in many countries which border the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, as long as Russia is able to use the peninsula as its military base. Ukrainian officials say at least 3 civilians were killed and 23 wounded by Russian shelling in the last 24 hours, including an attack not far from the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. While international fears of a catastrophe grow if shelling doesn't stop, the governor of the region where the plant is situated has reported radiation levels as normal.
These troops are part of Ukraine's Firefly's reconnaissance team. They operate drones to identify the position of Russian forces. The remote-controlled gadgets are playing a crucial role in Ukraine's military operations, particularly in the Mykolaiv region, where Russia's shelling has been escalating in recent weeks.
This is a war of artillery and drones. We aim at artillery. There are a lot of Russians, but we can now shoot very precisely.
Last week, the Ukrainian military said it had received nearly 20 million euros from donor countries and individuals for drones. They displayed some of the hardware at an airport on the outskirts of Kyiv, ahead of its deployment to the front lines. Back in the field, the servicemen monitor their drones and focus their guns at a practice target. This is a conflict where technology, once used for entertainment, has become part of a war machine.